that prison count comes up short. One inmate is missing. Guards can't find him because he's already miles away. Strapped beneath a delivery truck riding out of a medium security prison on a homemade wooden platform that he painted black. How? No one knew then that he'd spend the next 6 months living inside a store that we've all been to plenty of times growing up, planning his next move. Welcome back to Macabre Mondays, where mystery meets the macabre with your favorite Deadly Mary duo. I'm Ale.
And I'm Tom.
Your guides through the strange, the sinister, and the
spooky.
We should harmonize. Spooky.
Ooh.
You. Spooky.
This is why we're not musicians.
Yeah, no, this is why we do podcasts. Somebody's probably going to be like, oh my God. They always have to do something. They're giving me the ick.
Facts.
It's okay. It's okay.
I give myself the ick.
Aw, you're like the sweetest guy I've ever met.
I'm just a nerd.
My golden retriever husband. How sweet. I love it.
I'm drinking lemon water. Staying healthy today, folks.
Oh, wow. Just today, though.
Okay. We ran out of soda.
The marriage jokes. Well, we hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving weekend full of lots of yummy food, snacks, naps.
I know I did.
Turkey, beans, greens, tomatoes, chicken, turkey.
You name
it. Yes. No. I'm just so excited about Thanksgiving. So when you guys listen to this, I honestly, let us know what your favorite Thanksgiving dish is. Okay? What's yours?
Mine? A smoked turkey.
Oh, that's like your go-to, a smoked turkey?
Well, okay, correction. My favorite would have to be a sweet potato casserole, but it's got to be done right. I'm talking...
So with the marshmallows on top?
Marshmallow, brown sugar, some of them crumbly crumbles on top.
Hey, I had it the other day for the first time. Because we went to Golden Corral, and oh my God. First off, super sugary, but it does taste really good. Yes, I only took like 2 bites because I was like, you know what? That's it. That's too much for me.
Not for me. I was born and raised in the Midwest. We eat them sweets till we get cavities.
I bet they used to blend it, and that's what you used to drink with milk.
Yes, actually, yeah.
I love that. That's so funny. Mine probably has to be...
Yeah, what is it?
Yo, I don't know. It's a good question.
You're like rice and beans.
No, I was thinking the turkey, but I mean, I love your corn casserole. My God, my whole family loves your corn casserole. It's so good.
I just want y'all to know, I introduced the Hispanic family to some good old Midwest Southern cooking.
It's very yummy. It's very yummy. But every year they always ask for Tom's famous corn casserole.
They really do.
They do every year. My sister's always like, "Where's my personal one? You need to bake me my own personal one every time."
Hey, last time I was there, I did make 2. Remember, I made one for us to share, and then I made a second one that I slid off to the side
this
for her.
Thanksgiving, you're going to have to.
And
by the time you guys listen to this, comment down below and ask if Tom made the corn casserole, because he probably did. Most likely he did. But let us know what your favorite Thanksgiving dish. I always feel like that really just tells so much about a person, which it kind of gives me, you know, when you go on BuzzFeed back in the day and it's like, what kind of bread are you? Take the quiz now and find out.
I thought you were going to talk about, I can't think of his name. I want to say it was Matt, and he was a creator on there, and he had a whole episode on how to do Thanksgiving properly, and he was like, if I'm not gasping for air as I'm swallowing and sliding turkey after dipping it in the gravy and just sliding it down my jugular, I don't want to be there.
Oh my, I have not seen that, but that's funny.
It's hilarious. I'll show you after we finish recording.
I'm going to have to see that. But before we jump into today's episode, we just wanted to say we will be on break for Christmas from December 15th to January 19th, okay? So that's like practically a full month right there. Yeah, practically. So the last episode is going to be December 15th, that Monday, and then we'll be back on January 19th, which, by the way,
will be
making one year. One whole year of Macabre Mondays.
Macabre Mondays.
How cute. How cute.
How demure.
How spooky. How macabre.
How mindful.
Oh, how mindful. How sinister. How strange of us.
Actually, yours are better because they're on brand.
They're on brand, yeah. You're talking about something else. But that still works. That still works. So our last episode for 2025 is going to be December 15th, that Monday. And then we'll be back January 19th for a very special 1-year anniversary episode.
Whoop, whoop. Season 2.
Yes, it's going to be so much fun. I am so excited. But just make sure you guys are following us on socials because we'll still be very active and posting strange, sinister, and spooky content.
Are we
and
gonna
just
end?
anything?
I think we have to end the last episode of the first season with the "As our lives change, we'll remember."
Oh, I was thinking a different chorus.
I don't know actually how it goes.
No, but I love that. That's a great idea. We should have a 1-year recap. 1-year recap song. Okay.
That was the I don't know.
The rap.
No, that was the tape, like in the movies when
They
hits
do
the end of the reel and it goes.
Rewind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll do that. But anyways, December 15th is going to be our last episode for 2025, and then we'll be back January 19th for 2026. Bigger, better,
Damn.
harder, faster, stronger.
Crazy if you think about it.
Me. Oh yeah, no, it is really
Like whole years are gone.
the whole year. And I'm so glad that we did this. I'm so glad I came to you and I was like, hey, listen, I want to do a podcast. Would you want to join me? And you were like, hell yeah. And I was like, great, amazing. We have so many great followers.
We've learned so much.
Oh, we love you guys. Okay, you guys freaking rock. I love it.
You guys are amazing.
I love it. And so, yeah, I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving weekend. There's a lot of things to be grateful for, honestly, especially you guys. We are so grateful for you guys. And just this little cute, creepy corner that we have here that we've created with such a great community. And yeah, we're just so grateful. So,
and then on to my favorite holiday.
Christmas, yes, which I kind of bunch them up. But yeah, well, for today's episode, it's a special one. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because we are actually going to the state of North Carolina.
What?
The beautiful state of North Carolina, everybody. Charlotte, North Carolina, to be exact.
Queen City.
Queen City. Yes. Now, Tom and I actually both know about today's episode. And the reason why is because we were watching a movie at the movie theater. And...
Well, we're at the movie theater.
Duh. And we learned about this case, okay? I don't know if anybody's seen the movie. If you guys have, you haven't. The Roofman.
Oh.
Okay, The Roofman. It was out in theaters like a month ago or whatnot. We went to go see it, and when we left, we ended up learning that it was based on an actual true case and story.
Yes.
Oh my God, it was
and
so good.
And not even that far from us either.
Not that far from us, and it was based in Charlotte, North Carolina. But there's so much that you don't know. Because, again, remember, this is Hollywood. I think in the movie they did.
You gotta hollify everything.
They're gonna hollify it. Yeah, they're gonna hollify it. So I did my diggins, I did my writings, I did my researchings, and I found out some good information that you don't know yet. Okay, because all you know is what the movie told us, and of course, the movie's there's gonna be certain things that are gonna be Hollywoodified. Yeah.
I only know that and the location, the actual locations.
Yeah, the actual locations.
Mainly because I want us to drive past them eventually.
Yeah, so we will. So, and I'll see, honestly, because once we release this episode, I'll probably post something on socials and on YouTube Shorts and stuff like that as well of everything we saw. Yeah. Pretty much when we go to these locations. We're going to try to go to the exact locations, all right? Which I have a theory. Because it was really hard to find, like, so much information on this, essentially. Pinning today. We are talking about Jeffrey Manchester, the Roofman, the notorious Roofman. Jeffrey Manchester was born in 1971 in Sacramento, California. He grew up in a quiet suburban neighborhood, very polite and athletic kid who seemed destined for an ordinary life. Nothing out of the ordinary.
It's not unusual.
Be loved by anyone. In his 20s, he enlisted in the 82nd Airborne, jumping out of planes and building a family, which he ended up having a wife and 3 young children. Now, I was looking up because, I don't really know all about these military lingos and departments. The 82nd Airborne is a division that is special due to its rapid deployment capabilities, its historic combat record, and status as a premier airborne infantry division.
Yeah, the 82nd is one of the highly most respected.
Really? Okay, well, it makes sense.
It's a good branch.
It makes sense.
Good branch. I can't. I'm not. I'm tired.
It makes sense though, because from what I was reading, it specializes in joint forcible entry operations, including parachute assaults into hostile territory, and it actually maintains a state of constant readiness to be deployed anywhere in the world within 18 hours. That is insane.
If I was gonna say, if I recall, and I could have this incorrect, so don't blow me up. The 82nd also does. It's called Halo. I'm gonna get the acronyms wrong. Halo, and I want to say Hilo. It's like high altitude.
Halo Sano.
I can't remember. It's high altitude,
okay.
Low open.
Okay.
So in other words, they jump really high, but they open the chute really close to the ground, and then they have low altitude, high open. I think, I don't know,
something like that.
I can't
okay.
remember, but they
sounds
just,
badass.
it's
They're
specialty,
badass.
like
Got
jumps and shit.
Yeah, it's also giving adrenaline junkie vibe to me, because jumping out of airplanes.
Most of those guys definitely are.
Yeah, because to me, this is just definitely not something I would do. Not definitely something I would do. Remember, I was like, what if I joined the military? You were like, you would not do well in it. I was like, yeah, I think I'd have to go in as like a sergeant. I just don't take orders well. I give orders. I don't really, I'd be like, that's cute.
You have your college degree, so technically you could go in as an officer.
Yeah, I just don't, I just orders, like, they're going to be like, hey, so you need to be here. I'm going to be like, oh. And then also they're going to say 7,200 Phoebe.
Sorry. All I feel is like I'm getting clawed and bit at.
Sorry, Tom's foot was getting attacked by our dog Phoebe.
and the thing is, because of how the tablecloth sits, you couldn't see her at all.
I thought you were just shaking your foot.
You just see a paw reaching out, yanking at my foot.
Oh my god, that's funny. Yeah, no, but if I was in the military and they're like, oh, 1,700 hours, I'd be like, 1,700 hours? It just wouldn't work out for me.
Remember what I told you. Subtract 12.
You know, I just don't do math. It's just not for me. But, okay, back to Jeffrey Manchester. So, badass division we're in right here, okay? And you've got to be smarts to be in this division as well, because they're not just like, oh yeah. There's a lot more that goes behind it, obviously. Not saying that nobody else in the other divisions aren't smart, but...
That's okay.
Please. By the end of the 1990s, something in him seemed to have fractured. His marriage collapsed after a domestic dispute he was having in 1999, and the cops were called, and friends later said that he pretty much changed after this event. He detached, he was very withdrawn, and he was spending long nights alone, tinkering in his garage. According to a report that I was reading from the SF Gate, he became very meticulous to the point of obsession, sketching floor plans of fast food restaurants and mapping delivery times. Okay? It was as if the discipline that he learned in the army kind of drilled into him in like another form of compulsion in a sense. So it's like if he wasn't in the army, then he's like, I gotta tinker somehow. It's like this obsessive thing that became of him. And it seems to have happened after that event with his wife, the domestic dispute in 1999.
Interesting.
Yes. And then, almost out of nowhere, he decided to use that discipline that he learned in the army for something else. What do we know him as?
The Roofman. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. He decides to use all that discipline and all those smarts to start stealing.
Thief.
Ding, ding, ding.
But now I understand, because in the movie they didn't really touch on that.
No, they didn't. And also in the movie they talk about a friend.
They mentioned, the exact, don't be stupid and use the exact thing or something that got you kicked out of the military.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Or
yes,
something like that. Maybe it wasn't kicked out, or maybe they said like in trouble in the military, but it was somewhere along those lines.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, because in the movie, it's like his friend telling him, why don't you use your smarts for something else? Yeah. Like, I know you couldn't. They kind of...
They got you in trouble or something.
Pretty much he was not in the military anymore for a reason. That was in the movies. Again, this is what I meant by, like, there's certain things that I couldn't really find the full story on, or, like, the full background. I don't think there was ever... In the movie, if you guys go see it, there is a friend that constantly pops up in this movie. I didn't really see that in any of the articles that I was reading, so not entirely sure about that, but yes. Beginning in 1998, Jeffrey started breaking into fast food restaurants across the U.S. All across the U.S.
Across all the U.S.
Yes, his trademark was as strange as it was consistent. He'd climb onto the roof, drill a hole through the ceiling, drop silently into the restaurant before dawn. That was his literal signature and MO.
Wow.
And according to the LA Times, he moved with military precision. Okay. When I'm saying that, I mean, like, this man's is waiting in the dark until the morning crew arrives. Okay. So he's probably like, boo boo boo, probably napping in the back break room or something, waiting for somebody to show up. Yeah, I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
But he would literally wait until dawn, until the morning crew would arrive, and then come out quietly with a ski mask and a gun and say, listen, I'm gonna rob this place. But something very interesting about Jeffrey that nobody really knows, and why it's so fascinating.
Do tell.
He wasn't violent. He has a gun. He's here to rob the store.
But he wasn't there to cause any violence.
Employees actually later said that he was very well spoken. He would speak softly. He actually asked the employees to put on their jackets because he was going to put them in the freezer to lock them up. And so he's like, put on your jackets. It's going to be cold. And he even apologized for the inconvenience.
Imagine being one of the employees. You're later getting interviewed. So how mean was he? He wasn't mean at all. He was actually, honestly, I think he was nicer than most of my customers.
Well, that's what I find funny, because he's coming here to rob. You would immediately assume. Also, the trauma that these employees, yes, he was polite, but like
you're still gonna have some type of trauma.
Yeah, you also don't know. We know what we know because it's out and about, and we're reading about it, and I'm telling you about it, and there's a movie about it and all these things. But obviously, imagine being that employee in his position, in his shoes. You're clocking into your job at a fast food
and then all of a sudden,
chain.
this guy just drops from the roof, or
drops from the roof,
comes out of the darkness
in a ski mask with a freaking gun.
Hey,
and he's like,
"Come on,
get in the freezer." Yeah, my anxiety would be off the bat. My anxiety would be crazy. I
would get in trouble for not having a jacket.
He would, he would. And he actually even told one of the employees, sorry about that, but at least you get the day off.
Damn.
Yo, like, imagine that. I'd be like, you know what, you're right, bruh.
I was just going to say,
you are
honestly,
right.
Thinking back to my days of working types jobs like that, I probably would have thought the same thing. I probably went, it's a fair freaking point.
All I have to do is just wait here, which pretty much that's what he was telling them. Like, listen, I'm going to lock you up in here. I'm going to rob this joint. And that's it. You got the day off. So that's about it. He's very polite. Very polite. A polite thief we have on our hands.
Now, did he call the police every time he robbed, or
no?
Do we know how? So they just got alerted later on?
Yes. So that's pretty much what would happen. He would lock the staff into the walk-in freezer. He'd actually thank them for, helping him out, and take the cash, and then he would vanish. Now, in some robberies, investigators said that he actually even swept up his own footprints. After, like, he's like, oh, dang, I made a mess. I'm sorry.
Well, it could have also been that way his boots aren't able to be traced.
Could also be. Not me over here. I'm like, he's just so polite. Like, he's even cleaning up after himself.
I'm like, he's covering his tracks.
Yes. Now, police at this point couldn't really decide what to make of him. Is he a criminal who treated his victims with courtesy and kindness? Or is he this, like, crazy, psycho, insane thief?
Imagine it came out he was actually a vigilante. There was other people getting ready to rob the place, but he was like, I'm going to rob it first, and I'll be nice about it.
I mean, honestly, who knows at this point? But that's the other thing, too. Like, make no mistake, no one really knows. All we know is he's showing up with a gun. He's got a ski mask. Even if he's being nice about it, I mean, he's dangerous. He's dangerous. Yeah. He's armed. He's masked. Nobody really knows who he is, and he's coming to rob these locations, yes, which we're gonna get more into that. So the police, and to everyone watching the news, he's dangerous. They're on the medium, they're like, he's on the run, something's going on. Stay away from him, be careful, blah blah blah. Over the next 2 years, he hit more than 40 locations across California, Oregon, Nevada, Virginia, the Carolinas.
That's insane.
The Carolinas, both North Carolina and South Carolina. He hit Minnesota. He hit Nevada. He hit Maryland and Massachusetts.
I just love how the whole middle of the U.S. just ignored.
Yeah, no, completely
Except
ignored. Except for Minnesota. And the reason why, so he hit 9 total states. He was robbing high fast, 9 total states. He is robbing these fast food chains, okay? And the ones that he always robbed was a McDonald's. He was always robbing a McDonald's, though from what I was reading, he did occasionally choose like Burger King or Blockbuster. By 2000, law enforcement had a nickname for him, the Roofman.
The Roofman.
The Roofman, okay? Which, side note, when I was researching the case, I wasn't thinking about this while we watched the movie, but I was researching it. And I'm like, can we get a little bit more creative with these names? Because seeing that he loved to rob a McDonald's, like, oh, that was a prime time to call him the Hamburglar. Like the real live Hamburglar. You know what I mean?
I was thinking the Golden Arches, and that would have made no sense.
Oh, the Golden Arches? No. It would have made sense, but I like that. That's kind of cute.
That's
the
funny.
Hamburglar would have been
so
good.
clever.
That's what I'm saying.
You should be in charge of naming criminals.
Oh my God, did we just come up with a job?
Imagine that is a job.
There needs to be a department in the media outlets. Are you kidding me? Or the police?
Wall Street Journal, hit her up.
Call me for any of your creative names, okay? But also, like you even said earlier, imagine you're getting robbed you're working at McDonald's. You're already relatively, not saying that people who work at a McDonald's don't hate their job. I'm not saying that, but you do relatively see people have a lower demeanor. They're just in a badder, worser mood because they're also dealing with, like you said, most of the customers that they're dealing with are not nice at all. So they have to kind of have their guard up, and they have to come into work every day, and they have to, they're feeding people, and then people are upset and being nasty with them. And then the robber that comes to rob your McDonald's is actually way nicer than them.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
If I was him. And if anybody tells you who robbed you.
Oh, here's that reference again.
It was the Roofman.
Here we go again. Here we go. Yeah, so it's the Roofman. But either way, the name fits. Roofman, Hamburglar. I like the Hamburglar better, but it fits. Either way, it fits. And not just because of how he entered, but because of how impossible he seemed to catch. Because he would always enter through the roof. Like, that was just his signature thieving.
I mean, it makes sense. You're not
tools.
setting any alarms off.
Right. And also, like, how would you even, unless you guys have like some infrared lasers inside the McDonald's, but nobody's got time for that.
No, McDonald's doesn't have a budget
and also,
for that.
no one's really looking at a roof. You know how many times?
That's true.
I was just telling Tom the other day, do you ever just look up? Sometimes we don't look up.
Here we go.
Anyways, now each job was planned to the T, to the minute, okay, with routes, with timing, and even escape vehicles that he kind of studied in advance. So he's really good at this. He's really good at this. Detectives have said that his background as a paratrooper pretty much explained that level of precision that he would take, how he operated like someone was kind of on a mission. So essentially, it seems like what he was doing in the military, he's kind of bringing out
translating to
in real life, yes, in order to rob these McDonald's. And before anyone could do anything about it or even trace him, he was already gone. Like, he was just that good.
Damn.
Okay, and I mean, we're at this point where he's robbing over 40 different locations.
Without a trace.
Within the 2 years, without a trace, over the U.S., okay, 9 different states. That is insane. That's actually pretty incredible.
That's a lot of robberies. I feel like you don't
Yes.
hear of more than one robbery, usually without getting caught.
Without getting caught, exactly.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about over 40.
Yeah.
Also, I couldn't find how much it amounted, like how much he ended up robbing. I couldn't find that information, but it's just so fascinating. Like, wow, that is insane, okay? Now, that illusion of control that he had ended on May 20th of 2000 when he was caught. And side note, because Tom just called it out, but in this news article, it says the rooftop robber has struck in 9 states and has stolen an estimated $100,000. So that's insane, $100,000.
Shit. Money.
Now
I
was gonna say, in the back then, and in the movie, I think they pretty much translated it to him stealing like almost $500,000.
Yeah,
because he afforded a home, he got a car, he was
kind of did everything that makes it obvious.
It's like, if
anyone traces your money, they go,
right. Right.
Interesting. You were struggling last year, and now you just bought a brand new house and a car.
Right. And you may be wondering, too, how is it that he's robbing in 9 different states, 40 different locations, all over the map?
I was actually getting ready to ask, is he flying to these places, driving? What's bringing him to all these different locations?
The reason why he was even in North Carolina was because he was on Army Reserve duty. So that's why he was robbing these joints.
Yo, so he's robbing while on duty?
Yes. So, and actually, from what I was seeing, whenever he was stationed in these certain areas, because he's doing his job, that's literally his job, being in the military. Whenever he was on duty, obviously from what we know now, when he was on duty, there would be no robberies. Yes. And then when he wasn't on duty, they kind of, another McDonald's robbed. So it
Interesting.
was starting to make a pattern here, okay? But obviously they didn't know this at the time.
I was gonna say, but also at the same time, how many other soldiers are also going on and off duty at the same time?
Exactly.
You're also never gonna think it's a military guy.
No, you would never think that, and that's why they were kind of shocked when they found out that it was him. Okay, which this story just gets crazier, everybody. Okay, because I know Tom watched the movie.
I'm buckling in.
But he's still buckling in because there's a lot of info that he also doesn't know. You know, again, the movie is going to do what movies do, which I will say, very well done, that movie. But, so, he's back in North Carolina on Army Reserve duty, okay? He's in Charlotte, the Charlotte area, okay? Queen City. He ends up robbing 2 McDonald's in the same morning.
Damn!
This is how he gets caught. Okay, and he gets caught because he makes 2 mistakes. One, he's robbing he's robbing one McDonald's. Now he's gonna rob another one, and you're gonna laugh. The one McDonald's that he robs is only 10 minutes away from the other McDonald's that he robs that morning. Okay, one is in Gastonia, and the other is in Belmont.
Oh my God, those are literally right next to each other.
No joke. Like I could probably walk up the block. No, I'm being dramatic.
We've driven through both though.
Yes, I'm being dramatic. But yes, so he decides to rob 2 McDonald's the same morning, only 10 miles apart.
That greed will get you.
That greed will get you. And I also wonder if he thought, oh, well, cops are going to be at one McDonald's, so no one's really going to expect me here.
The other one.
Right, because they're all the police and law enforcement and everybody, media, news outlet, everyone's going to be over there right now.
Yeah.
So maybe good idea, right?
That's a good thought process.
The second mistake he did was that when he went to go lock the employees in the walk-in freezer, something happened. He didn't correctly lock them in. That 2 employees actually escaped, and they were the ones that hit a silent alarm that notified the police.
Damn.
And being only 10 miles away, it was going to be harder to escape, which is exactly what happened, because he does manage to escape the McDonald's, but police surround him in a nearby church parking lot. Okay.
Oh, really?
And officers later tell the Charlotte Observer that when they tackled him to the ground, he simply smiled and said, "You guys did a really good job today."
Oh, if I was a cop, I would just be like, is this a joke right now?
I'd be like, sir, to be honest, thank you.
That is wild. I also would be like, are you high?
I'd be like,
you realize I'm arresting
we've been looking for you for 2 years.
You know you're going to go to jail.
Come on, okay? Now, he gets taken to court, but his politeness here doesn't really matter in court, okay? Doesn't mean anything. They're going to be like, dude, you're here, you did the crime, you're going to do the time.
Can't do the time. Oh, whatever.
Don't do the crime, can't do the time. Yes. Now, he was convicted of kidnapping and armed robbery, and he was sentenced to 32 to 45 years imprisoned to Brown Creek Correctional Institute in Polkton, North Carolina.
Okay.
For most people, that would probably be the end of the story. Dun, dun, dun. But for Jeffrey Manchester, he was just getting started. Part 2. No, imagine.
Oh, God. Everybody would be so mad.
They'd be so mad. Okay, now, just 4 years into his sentence at Brown Creek Correctional Facility, until he decided to find a way to escape.
I can't wait to hear if this is how it was.
Okay, well, you know what's crazy was that this is also kind of giving me Escape of Alcatraz vibe.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the movie I just got you to watch for the first time.
Are you talking about Shawshank Redemption? Guys, I watched it for the first time. There are parts of that movie that are ingrained in me that I think about at least once a day. It's got to be a fleeting thought where I'm like, wow, okay, back to my thing. You know, I'm like, oh my God. Okay, back to what I'm doing. It was so good. Oh my goodness.
If you haven't watched Shawshank,
oh my goodness,
it should be a requirement.
It's kind of also reminded me a little bit of like Green Mile.
Oh, that was a good movie.
Oh my God. If you haven't seen Green Mile, just know you're going to need a box of tissues with Green Mile. Okay. Because
I mean, you were ready to cry with Shawshank too.
I sure was. And the old man. Oh God, I can't. They don't make movies like that anymore. They just don't make movies like that anymore. Don't get me wrong. I do still feel moved when I watch certain movies, but there was just something in the water back then.
Yeah, writers, take a note. We don't need all these videos and movies with dogs dying to make us cry.
Yeah, please, enough with the animal cruelty. I just can't. I know it's a movie. I know that it's all fake, but
I forgot about Kingsman. That did piss you off.
Oh my God, I just watched the second movie of Kingsman and the pug dies. Why would you do that? Why would you just
As Buddha's licking her hand.
Yeah, but he knows that I'm stressed out right now and anxious because, he's kind of my, thanks, buddy. My support puppy. Puppy's like 90 pounds.
For real.
Thanks, buddy. You're the sweetest. Buddha says hi, everybody. Yes. So, 4 years into his sentence at Brown Creek Correctional, and he finds a way to escape. What I was reading...
How did he escape?
Okay, well, what I was reading was that he used his machine shop job, which, by the way, before I even continue explaining this, because we also kind of had the same thought when we were watching the movie, this Brown Creek is actually a minimum custody facility, which is a classification, because I looked it up, for an inmate who is deemed a low risk for escape or violence. So allowing for the least restrictive housing and most privileges among custody levels. Yes. And so inmates in a minimum custody... I felt like Pepe Le Pew just there. But inmates in minimum custody are often first-time offenders or those convicted for non-violent crimes. So they may be permitted to work outside of the prison in the community or participate in other programs just with supervision. So
which
it's kind of like house arrest at a prison. Yes. So he is just 4 years into the Brown Creek Correctional. And what I was reading was that he had a machine shop job and at the prison, and there he stole supplies like wood, paint, and screws to build a flat plywood platform that he painted black to match the underside of one of those delivery trucks.
Okay, so it's exactly how the movie
exactly how the movie was.
That is wild.
So he pretty much used, like, he was just really good at observing, and he was really good. I mean, if you think about it, he's robbing, for 2 years, he was robbing 40 plus locations.
And he's also former military. He's good with patterns, everything.
Yes, he's really good at this behavior thing. He's analyzing, doing all this stuff. So he pretty much was on the lookout while he's doing his job, because the reason why he builds the platform is because even in the movie, like he slides it under the undercarriage of the truck, and so then he's able to go in, and then he is like undetected. And then if they look at the mirrors, the long mirrors to look under the truck before the delivery. And he knew what
size to cut it to, because one of the times the truck came, he for some reason got under and kind of marked where the axle was.
And he also,
that is insane.
And that's how in the movie it was. Yeah, exactly. So I couldn't find an article that explained exactly how he did it, but
they're probably never going to publish that.
Exactly. But in the movie, exactly what you're saying, he just somehow figured out the sizing. He was, pretty much that.
That's
so pretty much how it happened in the movie. Yes. Now, on the morning of June 15th, 2004, just 4 days before your birthday, just for you, he straps himself beneath a delivery truck and he rides out through the prison gates, clinging to the underside like cargo. Guards don't notice anything until hours later, okay? And this actually would become Brown Creek's first escape in its history.
Well, yeah, because everyone there seems to be,
like,
hey, you know what? I'm here to do the time. At least it's not that bad.
Yeah, at least it's not that bad. At least I get a job. I can go out. I can go out sometimes and come back in. I get a lot of outside time.
Then there's him. Screw it, I'm out.
He's like, I'm out. Just 4 years later. 4 years later. Now, for weeks, he was a ghost. He hitchhiked through Charlotte, and then out of nowhere, he just disappeared, quite literally. Like, no one would be able to find him at all. The police were looking out for him. The media was searching for him. His face was plastered everywhere for everybody to keep their eye out. Now, if you guys were in Charlotte around 2004, or just around 1999 to 2004, let us know. Did you hear about this?
Please.
Do you know anything about this? Because this is just so fascinating. The more we keep getting into it, it just, even in the movie, I was on the edge of my freaking seat because I'm like, my God.
Ale would not stop shaking.
I couldn't. I was like, can we just get to it? Is he fine? Did he escape? What's going on? Like, okay, well, we'll just get into it. But if you guys do know any more about it and you actually lived it in real time by living here, let us know down below in the comments. We'd love that. Okay. So no one can find him, not even his family, not the police, not a stranger on the street with his photo in his hand, with a photo in their hands. And the reason why was because he decided to go into hiding. And you guys may be thinking, where would an escaped inmate or escaped convict go into hiding so that he would successfully be able to avoid the law from finding him?
Just you wait till next week when we tell you. No, I didn't.
No, we would get everybody involved. Well, to answer your question, he's actually going to decide to hide in the ceiling of
Wait. If you guys can guess it, I'm going to give you one hint. He's with a giraffe.
Oh, that's a good hint. Well, The reason why no one could find him was because he decided to hide out in the ceiling of a local Toys R Us in Charlotte, North Carolina. The ceiling of
Look
a
at that.
Toys R Us in Charlotte, North Carolina. My God, okay? He built himself a makeshift apartment above the store. So in the movie, he's kind of living inside Toys R Us in like this
but it's behind.
build
You guys know
display
how everyone used
by
to
the
have
bikes.
Yeah, they used to have the bike thing. They made it like that in the movie.
In the movie, yes, but in real life, he was
he
actually living in the ceiling.
In the ceiling? That is
Yes.
insane.
Which, if you think about it, a lot of these buildings, especially like in Toys R Us,
They got
it's
drop
pretty
ceilings.
much, yeah, it's probably like a warehouse essentially, and they have so many drop ceilings. So he actually built this makeshift apartment up top on the ceiling. Now, in this makeshift apartment, he had an inflatable mattress, he had a hot plate, he had baby food, candy, and water bottles that he tucked into the ceiling beams. When the noise from shoppers became too much during the day, he actually tunneled through the drywall into the adjoining store next door, a Circuit City,
Wow.
and carved out a 4x10-foot hideout under the stairwell there.
That is insane.
That is, I just can't even
Absolutely
believe it.
insane.
I just was so in shock when we were watching this, and then I was learning more about it. And so, again, like I said, the Toys R Us is like in this really big, almost warehouse looking building, and there's an adjoining Circuit City next to it. So, the only thing that's really separating them, Circuit City
That
and Toys
wall.
R Us, is a wall. So that's why he was able to literally go into Circuit City
That's insane.
and build like another
That is
mini
insane.
apartment there so he could get away from all the noise. Now, inside, he had posters, he had baby monitors wired into the store so he could see and hear what was happening. And he even had a small TV plugged into like the hidden wall socket in the Circuit City stairwell where he could watch movies all day.
That is so...
Yes.
This man's living life.
No, for real. Are you kidding me? That's insane. Now, he was watching people below, shoppers, employees. He was tracking their routines. He was memorizing their schedules, which he also was messing with their schedules from what I was seeing, kind of changing them around and spying on shoppers.
So that was real?
It was real.
That's
But the one thing in
hilarious.
the movie that wasn't correct, which we'll talk a little bit more about, is that he had met somebody at Toys R Us, but that's not really true.
Okay.
Now, which I'll talk a little bit more about.
It's kind of sad, but
Pin it.
pinning.
Okay. And so pretty much while he's doing all this, he's also spying on shoppers. Now, he lived like that for nearly 6 months.
That is
6
that
months.
to me in itself is so insane.
Yes. You know how many people, dude, 6 months? Like, there's so many people out here that don't even do that much in 6 months. You know what I mean? Like, what? That's just crazy. Now,
Absolutely insane.
during the day, he'd slip down after closing, he'd shower in the store's employee bathroom, and he would ride kids' bikes up and down the aisles for exercise. So that was correct.
That's so funny.
Later, when I was reading this article from Independent, and they described it as a surreal second life playing house above a toy store, which is essentially what he's doing.
Did.
Yes.
I mean, how cool, especially because during that time, that was when like the electric razor was out. And I don't know if you remember, Toys R Us used to have those things charged up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, at least in ours, all of the electric things like the little razor and
The scooter?
skateboards and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Those things would be charged up,
Oh, so
like
you can
little
try them.
pocket
Yeah,
bikes and
so you can
everything.
try them.
Yeah. So I remember I used to be so excited to go to Toys R Us because my parents would never buy me one of those.
Right, so that's when
So
you
I
got
would
to
turn
play
it
with
on
it.
and I would drive it around in the little bike area.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that.
Meanwhile, this guy did it for 6 months.
He was doing it for free. But the thing that was crazy is that this guy goes even further. He adopts a new name. Not Jeffrey Manchester anymore. His new name is now John Zorn.
John Zorn.
John Zorn. And he began attending a local church that, no joke, we were looking at the map, was only a few minutes away from the
It's-
Toys R Us.
No joke. If you're on the roof of where this Toys R Us is,
You could see
can
it.
legitimately look
Yeah.
down and back.
You could see
In
it.
the movie, they kind of make it seem like it's a little bit further, but it's
don't-
right there.
I feel like knowing what we know now, in the movie he would ride one of the bikes over to the
Yeah,
church. So
so
to
maybe
me
that
it
was
was
the
close.
signal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's what the signal was. So, but it was so close. Like I would probably say it was definitely under 10 minutes from Toys R Us. Like if you're riding or walking
Yeah.
there. I definitely 10 minutes. So once he started attending the church though, he pretty much makes his whole new life. He makes friends.
Okay, so that's true.
An escaped convict. He makes friends. He makes friends.
Everybody
He's
forgot about
escaped-
this guy.
Yes, he escaped, which is, it's interesting. And I wonder if certain things that they mention in the movie is kind of his thought process in real life. Because I think also for the movie, they consulted him. I'm not entirely sure about that.
They had to.
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure.
Had to.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. But in the movie, he does talk a lot about, all they need to do, like, no, the media and the police aren't going to be stuck on me I just need to hide it out, wait it out. That's pretty much what he was doing in the movie. So I wonder if that was also his thought process.
Genuinely think about it. That's true for most of your smaller time criminals.
Yeah.
Such as something like this.
Right.
If you're not murdering people and you're just
Right.
robbing stuff or whatever it may be.
Yeah, like there's certain...
We'll say more petty crimes, I guess.
Yeah. Like nonviolent crimes.
They'll post you all over.
Right.
But then
they've
give
got
it a
like
couple
bigger
weeks.
fish to fry, essentially.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. Because I felt the same way. I'm like, even in the movie when we were watching, I was like, well, it makes sense because...
Yeah.
Okay, he's an escaped convict. I mean, not saying that he should have done that, but to me, it's like
but how much
his thought process,
money and resources are the police going to really use?
Right. Now, to his new friends at this church, he was a quiet, kind guy who said that he worked for the government, that he had the secret job that he couldn't really talk about much. And nobody really questioned him because he seemed and came off very genuine. And his story just really made sense, essentially. So to them, they're like, okay, he just works a government job and he's here because he's out for work. And
it makes sense that he would be able to also get away with kind of sneaking around on that.
Sneaking around. Now, while he's running away from the law, he actually ends up having a girlfriend.
Okay.
He makes a girlfriend as an escaped convict.
This
I
is
find that insane.
As Mr. Zorn?
Yes, Mr. Zorn makes a girlfriend. A girlfriend, okay? This is a whole new life at this point. And the woman that he met, that is his girlfriend now, he actually met at church. And he became friends with her.
Oh.
So in the movie, it was like that, yes.
It was like that, but she also worked at the Toys R Us.
She did not, yeah.
So she's
at the
just
movie,
a churchgoer.
She's just a churchgoer. In the movie, her name is Lee Wainscott. And in the movie, she worked at Toys R Us, and that's how he kind of knew about her.
That's interesting how they tied some of that stuff together.
Some of that stuff together, yeah. So he did meet her at the church, though. And in the movie, they do go to church together. Yes. Now, she was divorced, and she had kids of her own. And obviously, no one knew that John Zorn, a.k.a. Jeffrey Manchester, a.k.a. the Roofman, a.k.a. the Hamburglar, was a wanted fugitive living above everyone's favorite toy store at the time.
That's still my favorite.
Now, I was also reading that Jeffrey or John Zorn at some point during those 6 months did go to a dentist's office for some teeth issues that he was having.
Okay, so that was true.
Yes, and he paid in cash, but later realized that the dental records might expose his identity, and so he decided to set fire to this dentist office to destroy any evidence inside. I hope that we're all reacting the same way when we're listening to this, because the levels that we are taking here are insane.
All I'm thinking
are insane.
Granted, again, I grew up with a godmother that was a dentist.
A dentist, yeah.
But all I'm thinking of,
shout out,
dude, you literally you sneak into everywhere else. Why not just sneak in, open the cabinet or break into the cabinet that all the files are in? Everything's alphabetical order, especially during this time. I remember even all my pediatric stuff. When I go, you saw them pulling the file in alphabetical order.
You know what? That's a good point. Seeing how he's like this really smart guy. And I mean, again, we're all smart and we're not always right. I totally get that. But to me, I'm like, that's a good point, or maybe he just wanted to cover all his tracks.
Maybe
he wasn't sure, and he's like,
well, what if something else has it?
I'm gonna torch this whole joint up, because that's literally what he did, which is insane.
That's wild.
Insane. And they even had interviewed the dentist or one of the workers that worked there, and was just like, I can't even, this is the stuff you see in movies. Because what do you mean his dentist's office got torched up? That's insane.
Fast forward 20 years.
It is
and
insane.
It is a movie.
No, seriously, dead ass. Okay, so that was true, because that did happen in the movie as well. Now, at this point, all right, he goes to the dentist's office. What do you, you're getting services done, so you got to pay for stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's living 6 months. It's been 6 months that he's pretty much just living, running away.
Which is still insane.
It's insane. So your main question, and you're probably wondering, is how the hell is he supporting himself this whole time?
You know, I actually hadn't thought about that, but I was just assuming it was because he kept stealing stuff.
Well, he was sustaining himself entirely through stealing, for sure. He'd steal cash from the registers when he slipped downstairs after closing. He actually would take electronics, toys, and small items for both the Toys R Us and Circuit City, and he either would keep them or he would sell them under the table at pawn shops under his alias John Zorn. So that's how he was making money. Which makes sense,
because a lot of pawn shops
they don't really ask questions.
IDs or anything.
Yeah, they don't ask questions. Some of them don't do. Yeah, but that's what I was like. Damn, he's still stealing. That's crazy. No, so he's pretty much just stealing stuff from the store and just selling it and making money that way. And that's because he also has a girlfriend.
Oh yeah, he's gotta take her on dates and stuff.
Come on, they're probably going out to eat.
Yeah.
Again, an escaped convict is insane. I can't. And because he built that relationship with his girlfriend Lee, how would you say it, Leigh or Lee?
How's it spelled?
Leigh. Lee.
Okay,
Lee. So I was saying it right. Okay, I was just like double checking. The beginning of that video was like croissant.
How do you say it?
Did you see that?
It is a town in England.
At the beginning of the video, it's like, how do you pronounce croissant? Yeah. I was like, no.
I saw that.
Okay, so he builds the relationship with his girlfriend Lee, who believes he's working at this government agency, top secret mission, can't really talk about this job, okay? So she would also occasionally pay for gas or meals or small things when they were together. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Makes sense, because I'm thinking maybe if it ever felt like it was getting hot, he'd go into hiding and just tell her, oh, I got to go on a mission or something. I don't know if that happened, but I'm just saying,
right.
you know,
you're just giving your...
He's got an easy cover, honestly, if you think about it.
That's a good point. It's a very good point. I just find
Why can't I find your name anywhere in the yellow pages?
Also, he is literally out and about, eating, doing things together.
Yeah.
My God, he is hiding in plain sight. Yeah, he's hiding in plain sight. But at this point, obviously, she still has no idea that she's funding a fugitive and
yes,
that's hiding. Yeah, an escaped convict that's hiding above a Toys R Us ceiling. Won't let me out. They won't let me out. Got me locked up. They won't let me out. No. Okay, so by Christmas of 2004, his obsession with control returned.
Oh, no.
He planned to do one final job. He wanted to rob the store beneath his hideout, the Toys R Us.
Oh, God.
Yes. And also,
this is real.
It's so, okay, yes. Because in the movie, he wants to rob the store. This is his plan. His one last final hoorah. He's going to, and so also, you got to think about it. If it's like December 2004, Toys R Us, you're probably making money.
Good.
The company was doing money. And this was probably like Toys R Us's prime time.
I remember Black Friday on Toys R Us was wild.
Yo, crazy. And that's where everybody's going for their kids' toys. Like nowadays it's different, you know.
Amazon.
You remember KB Toys? Yo, you didn't have KB Toys? We had KB Toys up in Jersey.
I think we literally only had a Toys R Us.
Toys R Us? Okay. Well, it was kind of like a Toys R Us, but it was small.
Okay.
It was smaller. But anyways, in his head, he was planning that he's going to do this perfect operation, this one last shebang, okay? So it's December 26th, the day after Christmas. His plan is he's going to drop down from the ceiling of his Toys R Us hideout. He was going to zip tie the employees, and he was going to rob the store, taking all their money. But as we know, history loves to repeat itself. He's also planning on doing this. Also, if you're going to rob the store, what was his MO before? He had a gun. Yeah. He would always be like, yo, I'm going to rob this place. Yeah. If you have a gun, people are going to obviously listen to you, and they're going to be like, oh, shoot, like he means business.
But I mean, he's been stuck in a Toys R Us. So
it's Toys R Us, right?
So
that's probably your question is how, or probably everybody's question is,
how's he going to do it? Like, how's he going to intimidate them enough?
Exactly. Because he has a gun.
But how's he have a gun?
Exactly. Okay. Now, one of the other things that I noticed was that he also managed to break into a local store and rob the joint. The only thing he robs here is a handgun, a small caliber semi-automatic pistol that he stole from a nearby pawn shop.
Oh, that's smart.
Yes, and according to investigators, According to investigators, it seems like Jeffrey likely scouted multiple businesses during his months in hiding and took advantage of a vulnerable like back room or storage area in the pawn shop. So it was pretty much consistent with his other pattern. Jesus.
Yeah.
Everything he needs, he steals. That's literally, that's his go-to thing. He's like, oh, if I need it, I'm just going to steal it.
Wow.
So he does end up robbing into a pawn shop to steal the handgun because also he needs to intimidate people. I mean, I'm not going to listen to... If you're coming here to rob this joint, you're like, you better rob it or else.
Unless you're jacked, then I might listen to you. Because I'm not trying to get my ass kicked.
You crack me up. So it's December 26th, the day after Christmas. He's dropping down from the ceiling of this Toys R Us hideout, his home, pretty much. Zip-tied the employees and robs the store, taking all this money. 2 workers, though, managed to escape and call the police. Which I'm also like, dude, this is literally what happened last time.
That's not how it went in the movie.
That's just exactly kind of crazy. But police later find his hideout, of course, because they're like, what? What do you mean?
Yeah.
This guy's robbing the store? Is this the Roofman? So
they're like, we saw him run to the back after he robbed us, and then we never saw him go anywhere. It was like a little rat. He just scurried on up the roof.
Literally at this point. So they end up finding his hideout. They find the mattress, the baby food, the toys, the posters, and even a copy of the movie Catch Me If You Can. Which, for those of you who haven't seen the movie, one, you have to see this movie. It's a classic. Okay, again, like I said, they just don't make movies like this anymore. But anyway, I feel like I sound like our parents. You know, they're like, back in my day, they used to have, you know, not everyone wore veneers, you know, things like that.
That's hilarious.
But if no one's ever seen this movie, it's so freaking good. We've got Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom freaking Hanks. Okay. And Leo is this like charming con man who forges checks, and he's pretty much a thief as well. But he impersonates like a doctor. He impersonates a Pan Am pilot. Like he is. So I find it funny. And the whole time, good. Tom Hanks, the detective, is trying to track him down and find him. So it's very ironic that he's watching this movie, Catch Me If You Can, and they actually find that in his Toys R Us apartment that he builds. So
you guys have to watch it. I'm pretty sure, didn't they announce a second one's coming out soon?
I don't know. Don't surprise me like that. Don't get me excited, because like I love that movie.
We'll research after.
Good. Yeah, we will. But anyways, go watch it. It's so good. Okay. Now, the police, when they find his hideout, they also find a fingerprint on a DVD that would actually link him directly to the fugitive that we know as a Roofman, aka the Hamburglar.
Back then, you'll CDs and DVDs, you just barely touch the back of that, and your whole finger was on it.
Yeah, like I could barely like breathe around it, and then it fogs up. I'm like, chill.
It wasn't like
Daddy.
Blu-ray.
Daddy, chill.
Blu-ray's so protected.
No, seriously, it's so freaking true. So that's literally how they were like, yeah, this is the Roofman. This is him.
Huh. Would you look at that? Same fingerprints we have at that jail.
Yeah. Interesting.
That makes sense.
Well, officers, when they found the hidden door leading to the Circuit City apartment that he built, I need to call it an apartment, because I just find it insane that he lived at these stores. They ended up uncovering Jeffrey's secret that he pretty much created the last 6 months. He was living there. Insane. When his mugshot hit the news, Lee, his girlfriend, recognized that her boyfriend, John Zorn, aka Jeffrey Manchester, aka the Roofman, aka the Hamburglar,
Mr. Zorn,
was this man that she was dating. And investigators later said that she was terrified when she learned that, which of course I would be too. Imagine you've been dating this one guy that
I'd be like,
are you kidding me?
Gasp.
Audibly gasp. Yes. So they actually ended up showing her record, and she pretty much broke down. Like she couldn't even believe
I wouldn't be able to too.
Yeah,
think
it would be hard
about
for me to
spending
wrap my
so
head
much
around.
time developing a relationship just to find out everything you think you know was more than likely false.
Was false. And you know what I find crazy too is that, not crazy, but she's also divorced. She's also got kids. He's divorced essentially, right? The whole story that he says to her and all that, which I'm pretty sure is probably along the lines of like, yeah, you know, I also have kids, but we're separated and all that. And I just, my job and a secret government agency and all this blah, blah, blah. I can't talk about it. So they probably were connecting in that way as well.
Yeah.
Which made it even realer for her.
Literally trauma and everything.
And I just wonder, like, being him, what were you thinking? Like, what were you thinking was going to happen? You know what I mean?
He probably was getting lonely. And he probably genuinely was having a good connection with her, but obviously he's not going to tell her, hey, you know all those burglaries that people... Why can't I say that?
It's a Hamburglar.
You know all them robberies
that
were occurring?
Right.
That was me.
I just wonder, like, why... What was he... No, I totally get that. He probably was lonely, and he's like...
what his endgame was?
Yeah, what is your endgame? Like, you're just going to... It's cool, go to church, make friends. Do you have a girlfriend?
I feel like he genuinely is going to just continue to take on this personality. And eventually maybe hope that he could escape into
like go
the
somewhere
regular
else.
world.
Yeah. Especially you're literally building this new life in the same state and practically county that you were arrested and are hiding from.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I guess to me, I would have continued on to one of the borders and
yeah, I think I would have maybe
found a country that doesn't have
Yeah.
whatever it's
I
called.
mean, he could have gone to like
extradition.
Oregon.
Isn't that what it's called?
Oh, you're talking about countries? Yeah, that's a valid point,
Yeah.
right? That's a valid point. He really, if honestly, if he used all these, like Shawshank Redemption, if he had used all these, like smarts, I guess, and all these skills that he had, bruh, he could have been in Aruba. You know what I mean? Like he could have been somewhere sunny.
Go to a country.
Yeah, he
enjoy
could have
some
escaped.
cocktails.
He could have escaped. He could have been to Grand Caymans. Like he could have gone anywhere else. Like he could have done a lot of different things. So yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that because why stay in the same area?
Well, one, that, but literally, why stay in any country that you could be extradited back to the U.S. for charges?
So that's what I mean. I wish we could get in his brain. I wish we could ask him, like, yo, so what's your thought process here? Like, what were you thinking at this time? Or maybe he was just living in the moment. Living in the moment.
That's true.
He's like YOLO.
I don't know. If I was him and I had escaped, I had all this money that I've collected over this
that I'm
however
stealing.
many months,
Yeah.
I'd be finding the nicest town, country, whatever to go and escape to.
Yeah.
And then I'd write a letter back and explain, hey, I did all that. And
Thanks,
guess
guys.
what? I'm never going to come back to the U.S. or go to a country that you guys can get me in.
No, that's true. That's why I'm like, wow. I just wonder what the what the end game was, because that's so interesting to me. Especially like I would probably want to go somewhere where I'm not always looking over my shoulder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hence, non-extradited city.
Exactly.
Or town,
Agreed.
country, whatever it's called.
Agreed. Now, when she learns about who John Zorn really is, the police ask her if she would help arrest him, and she agreed to help, of course.
Damn,
because
so
also,
that was true.
Yeah, but also you got to think about it. Imagine being her. One, you've just been betrayed.
Yeah.
Two, you could get in trouble. They could pin it on your ass. You could go to prison
now. That's the last thing you want happening.
Yeah, and she's got kids. Like, she's not trying to deal with all that. So on January 5th of 2005, which is her birthday, by the way.
Damn.
She invites
So
Jeffrey.
that was true.
Yes. She invites Jeffrey, or should we say John Zorn, or the Hamburglar.
The Hamburglar.
Okay. To dinner. When he arrives at her apartment, he brings flowers with him.
Oh.
And the police officers were clearly waiting outside for him to show up, and he was arrested without incident. He did not struggle whatsoever. Now, court records show that he pled guilty to a long list of charges: robbery, kidnapping, arson, possession of stolen goods. Goods? Why did I say goods? Stolen goods, which added more time to his sentence, of course.
Yeah.
Now, according to the North Carolina's Department of Adult Correction, from what I was seeing, he is now serving a 47-year term with a projected release date in 2036. So I wonder why he was arrested back in
just about
2005, like at the beginning of 2005.
Maybe he's been on good behavior.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm sure there was something. That's what I mean. Like, there were certain things that I found, but then the other things I was like, well, I don't know. Like, is he off parole? Is that paroled? You know, I'm not entirely sure. But from what I was reading, the most recent release date he will have is in 2036, so 10 years from now.
Damn.
Now, guards have since caught him attempting to escape 2 more times. Once in 2009 and again in 2017, but he wasn't successful either time. And psychologists who reviewed his case do describe him as a manipulative and calculating man who relied on politeness the way others might use force instead. So to him, he's like, you know what? I'm not a bad guy.
I'm going to use your kindness to your...
Yeah, I'm going to be kind because then you're going to trust me. If I have a gun and I'm being nice, you know, and you're listening, then great, you won't get hurt.
That's true.
I was also reading that a correction psychologist said that he displayed a lot of traits of a high-functioning narcissist, controlling, articulate, but also emotionally vacant, from what I was reading. So interesting. But again, crazy, because in the movie, and I know, again, it's just a movie. It's just a movie. I totally get it. This is literally their job. But like I said earlier, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. Channing Tatum is the main guy who plays John Zorn. And I was so freaking anxious because the way they portrayed him was that like he was just like this guy who...
They portrayed him so nice you wanted to take his side.
Yeah, you were like, damn, dude, why don't you just escape, man? You know what? It's just, okay, you know, the robbing isn't right. That's not okay. But just go. Like the whole time I was on the edge of my seat, like I was like, oh, is he okay? Is he going to escape? What's going on? Oh my God, Lee and the kids. And they did so good at that movie.
It was very well put together.
Yes. Now, his victims later on did say that he seemed to believe that he was performing some kind of like moralized heist, as if being nice and polite would just make his crimes less.
Not as bad.
Yeah, not as bad. And in recent years, like we have been talking about this whole episode, the movie Roofman is out now, which they apparently for a couple years now they were thinking about. Like this was something there was something in the works or something that was being talked about. Yes. Which seriously, please, you guys have to see it. It is such an amazing cast because no joke, we've got Channing Tatum. We've got Peter Dinklage. Guys, are you kidding me?
I love
Uzo
Peter Dinklage
Aduba.
and like everything.
Yes. Uzo Aduba and Kristen Dunst. Okay. There's so many other great heavy hitters here. Like we've got, I mean, the cast, power cast here. So freaking good. So freaking good. Now, the most recent updates that we have on him, okay? The most recent thing that I could gather was that Jeffrey himself apparently could have consulted from prison, joking about the casting, but we are not entirely sure. But those who lived through his crimes aren't really that amused with what he did because victims that were interviewed...
That makes sense.
Yeah, said that glorifying his story kind of erases the fear and trauma that he probably caused to a lot of dozen employees there.
There's definitely people still dealing with that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Which is what I was seeing. That one former McDonald's employee actually admitted that decades later, the sound of air vents still makes her jump because she's not very sure.
Yeah.
But there are other employees that have said that he was just a nice guy robbing the store. So again, but everyone's going to obviously interpret it their own way of analyzing and digesting the events that they saw. Now, Lee also said that he was never aggressive or weird with her and the girls. He was just a nice guy. Like, he was a really cool guy. And she said that she even had asked her daughters if they remembered him, and they said, yeah, he was nice. So to me, it's like, it's just so interesting because you don't really know what was going on in his mind. Again, I don't even, it's hard.
It almost makes me think that maybe he genuinely was acting as the person he wanted to be.
Right.
But knew internally he could not actually just be.
He probably didn't feel that he deserved to be that person. Yeah. There has to be something more internally going on here. Man. Because to me, I just don't understand. Like, even this whole story, I'm like, what is the end all be all here?
The way he robs, it makes me think, I can't think of the movie, but the guy goes into the bank and he's holding the gun at the bank teller. And she's like, I'll give you however much you want. And he's like, you think I want to rob this bank? I want a job, bitch. I'm never going to learn anything if you just give me the money. Give me a job.
Yes. Oh my God. Where's that from? That is yes. No, but that's so true. Funny. And it also just gives me, he's giving a little sense of entitlement to me that he's just like, well, I'm not good at anything, but I'm good at robbing, I guess.
Yeah, so I guess this is what I'll just do.
This is what I'll just do because it's like, dude, you know what? You robbed once, not good. But do something different. Yeah. We did it 40 times, plus then some, even more. We escaped, we did all this. It's like, you're not learning anything from here.
No.
Get a job, dude. Just get a job. Yes, but I thought that was crazy. So that is the story for today's episode, friends, of Jeffrey Manchester, the Roofman, a.k.a. my version of the Hamburglar.
Which, I'm just going to let you guys know, when you see these photos, the way that they had Channing Tatum dressed, don't get me wrong, I do think Channing Tatum's a little bit more handsome, but they
did a good job casting.
Pretty darn spot on, to be completely honest.
Yeah, they did a really good job casting. It was just such a good movie, honestly. And I'll post, like, again, like I said, there were that's what I said. Remember I said at the beginning, I was like, pin it, right?
Oh, pinned? Pulling the pin?
There were certain things that I couldn't really find, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm starting to think, I wonder if McDonald's did like reputation management, because you don't want to be linked to the man that was robbing 40 locations.
Well, I was even thinking...
Okay, no, I could be far-fetched here.
My thought is that potentially the police department, one, you're thinking a lot of this stuff was happening early 2000s.
It was hard to find photos, and there's not many articles.
Again, a lot of this stuff's happening early 2000s. Okay. Google launched in 98. At that time, what was the biggest search engine? It was ask.com or whatever. Google hadn't become a thing. Was it? Yeah, Google hadn't become a thing. The internet was nowhere near what it is now.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
You used to have to, I don't know if you remember this, used to have to remember the URL you wanted to go to and actually type it in.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, I guess. I'm over here like, no, McDonald's must have done some reputation management, because how is it that, like, because again, it's so hard the
we
whole
didn't
time.
have like search results like the way that we do now.
I just
you
wonder,
still had it. It was just totally different.
Yeah, I guess I'm just bummed out because we can't. What was our first question when we left the movie theater? Like, we need to look this up and see if we can find exactly how it looked where he lived inside the toy store, but we couldn't find anything.
And I have a feeling that was probably withheld by the police.
Yeah, by the police.
They definitely have photos of that, but I think, and that's where I was getting at. I think a lot of this stuff they probably redacted from public record for the safety of having a copycat.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good point. That's just me. I'm just like curious. I'm curious. It's natural human nature. Okay, yeah, I agree. But that's so totally true. And so that today was the episode of The Roofman, everybody.
Man.
Isn't that insane? Tell us, leave a comment, tell us what you think, because what? Also, if you think about it, this was kind of like, you're always traumatized after every episode.
This was honestly such a nice break.
A refresher. No one died. Just the dentist, no one was murdered. Just the dentist's office was torched to hell. Okay, we've got, he is betraying and traumatizing several people.
I know a number of people that are going to sleep very well listening to this episode.
Probably just the husbands, because...
True.
No, but it's such an interesting story and an interesting case, and we just felt like we had to cover it. I even told Tom, I'm like, we need to do this. Like, this is just, wow, incredible. And we're going to go out, we're going to make it we're going to plan to go out and go to these locations to see what it is that we can spot and, see what we can see, because my goodness, okay? So good. All right. And that leads us to my outro.
Alrighty.
Thank you for joining us today on Macabre Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. You can follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you know more about today's episode, my God, if you know more about today's episode, if you lived in Charlotte around this time or North Carolina. If you worked
at the Toys R Us.
If you worked at the Toys
or the Circuit City.
Or the Circuit City. Or you went to the same church. My God, let us know. I am like this. I'm dying to know. I'm dying to know.
And to kind of piggyback off of that, we would love to hear from you. Honestly, if you guys have any type of story that's strange, sinister, or just downright spooky, does not matter how small or big you may think it may be, please send it our way.
Yes.
You can email us at macabremondayspodcast@gmail.com or head over to our website, macabremondays.com, to submit your story. Yours just might be featured in an upcoming listener episode.
Follow us on social media by searching Macabre Mondays for photos of today's episode, updates, and a little extra spooky fun. Don't forget the last episode for season 1 of 2025. It's going to be December 15th, okay? And then we'll be back January 19th for our 1-year anniversary episode.
Whoop, whoop.
We'll see you next Monday for another strange, sinister, and spooky episode. Stay tuned. More mystery is just around the corner. But until then, stay spooky and stay safe, friends.
Deuces.
Bye.